Come to Abraham House, where if you follow the rules, you will have the time of your life. Purify your soul, and if you don't want to purify your soul, you will not like the consequences. Children of Sin was written and directed by Christopher Wesley Moore, who did Blessed Are the Children, Triggered, and A Stranger Among the Living. Stars Meredith Moeller, Lewis Hines, Joe Ann Robinson, and a few others in this tale set in Mississippi, where the Bible thumpers run rampant, and if you aren't a good, God-fearing Christian individual that wants to save as many damn souls as possible, well, you're fucked. Basically, you're fucked. That's the whole message. You are totally fucked. If you are gay, if you sin, if you do anything outside of the Bible, which contradicts itself pretty much on every goddamn page, if you really sit down and read it, and if you want to sit down and read it, you're going to go fucking nuts trying to come up with all the contradictions to any goddamn story that is in that storybook. And now that I pissed off every single religious person that is watching this video, let's get on with it. So, again, set in Mississippi, and basically there is a mother and a stepfather that are raising Emma, played by Meredith Moeller, and Jackson, played by Lewis Hines, who, well, they're not what they seem, even though it's very obvious from the beginning how these particular children are. Let's just say the stepfather to be Robbie is a bit of a, well, he's kind of a bit of an absolute fucking creep, but he uses religion to justify his bigotry and the creepiness and the perviness and everything. And oh boy, this was certainly something that ramped up the creepy meter when it came to the religious zealot nut jobs up to the nth degree. I mean, it was like 11 out of 10. This goes up to 11. Everything about this made it seem like some people that really get that wrapped up in religion are really, really nuts. And then also there's Joe Ann Robinson, who plays Mary, who is really, really good in this. Now, I took a chance on this movie. It's on Amazon for just a few bucks, and I saw, okay, this seems kind of cool, seemed kind of cheesy. The poster is very much inspired by 70s and 80s horror movies, and you can definitely tell that when you dive into this, and you get the synth score. It's Missisynthi, as it were. Tried to sound like Daffy Duck there, apparently. The synth score actually is, at times, almost out of control, but really, really fun. It just gave me that warm, nostalgic feeling, and Christopher Wesley Moore understands how to do basically just, outlandish stuff in horror, but also build some tension well. While this movie is by no means perfect, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I haven't had this much fun watching a movie I knew nothing about since The Last Matinee, which one of my mutuals that might be watching this hears as The Last Manatee. You're welcome. You're never going to unhear it. You're very welcome. So, basically after, it turns out that Emma is pregnant and Jackson is gay. They are sent away to Abraham's house. They are sent away to this compound with other people that are either gay, loose women, or both. They're gay, loose women. I mean, the bottom line is everybody's a sinner, and Mary is the charge. She has her nephew Hank, who is played by Christopher Wesley Moore, and actually a pretty damn good role in all honesty. And from there, it becomes very, very obvious that a lot of really, really fucked up shit is happening. And it takes place in one of two locations. It takes place in the house where Emma and Jackson are living, and then takes place at this compound, which is basically like Camp Crystal Lake ramped up with the religious, motif just absolutely pushed in your fucking face to the point where it's absolutely astonishing that anybody that comes within 50 miles of this place doesn't say, we probably should burn that place down, because it's clearly a marketing scheme and there's obviously weird shit going on. So from there, we get a slasher / psychological horror movie that's pretty much straightforward. It's really, really straightforward in the fact that the religious people are nuts and there are some people that have to fight back. And sometimes that's all you need. Now, describing it that way, you might not think this movie is good. I actually thought this movie is quite good. In fact, I think this is one of my favorite movies of the year. I had a great fucking time watching this. Christopher Wesley Moore may have to dive into more of his stuff because he understands how to do horror. Sure, it's goofy and ridiculous, and a lot of the characters make really dumb decisions, and some characters are buying into the whole religious thing, and then some are just stock characters. They're just there to be bodies as the body count rises, but essentially the movie's fun. And if you get a slasher that's fun, that is much of a throwback to the 70s and 80s with synth scores and violence and a lot of violence. A lot of violence and a lot of really creepy religious stuff. This movie is actually a perfect package of ridiculousness, but also just being fun. It's been a lot of fun. In fact, I had so much fun watching this that the grade that I was going to give it kept increasing. I was like, I was like, let me start here. Let me go up here. Okay. It's holding here, holding here. This is fun. Let's climb up a little bit more. Let's climb up a little bit more. Holy shit. I'm really having a great goddamn time watching this. The violence is over the top and ridiculous, and while it is an indie fare, it is fun. It's so fun. It's so much fun watching this. Again, I have to praise Christopher Wesley more. I have to praise the performances. I gotta say, Meredith Moeller, she was pretty good in this. I hope I pronounced that name right. Lewis Hines was fine in this. Jo Ann Robinson, in my personal opinion, stole the goddamn show because she was like just perfect here. She was perfect as just a complete like nut of the matriarch of this whole goddamn thing. Ironically, considering it was religious, and there are hints that there are other compounds elsewhere, and this is just a cult thing. They worship blue oysters because you don't fear the reaper, but you better fear if you're a sinner. It's just great when we get these videos of like this particular preacher, the head preacher, as it were, which sounded a whole lot less dirty in my head before I said it, doing these motivational videos. Save your soul, get away from sin, and save as many souls from sin as you can. You will go to heaven. It's not how that fucking works, folks. Just be a good person and don't be, a goddamn nut job buying into a storybook. Because that's what the Bible is, a fucking storybook. So anyway, now I am going to get into spoilers. It's on Amazon for about $4. There are certainly worse uses for your money. I had fun. Maybe it'll drop on Netflix or it'll drop on Shudder or something at some point. But I'm happy that I paid just a few bucks for it. Had I known it was going to be this good, I would have bought it. Maybe I'll buy it eventually on streaming. But anyway, I'm going to get into spoilers. So 3, 2, definitely watch it. It's absolutely a blast. Spoilers. Okay, so Emma's pregnant. Why is Emma pregnant? Emma's pregnant by her soon-to-be stepfather. Yeah, see what I meant by the crazy religious nut job zealots and everything. And the mother, obviously, has been indoctrinated and has been brainwashed, like, just absolutely to a maddening degree. And Mary very much was somebody that used to live a life of sin, and it turns out she's actually gay, but she won't, give in to that. She won't give in until she's victorious. But Hank, he sins with Mason, the wood handler. He handles wood for the fireplace and Hank's wood as well. Also, there are gay women, because why the fuck wouldn't there be? There's a girl named Rebecca that got pregnant when she was unconscious, and 4 members of a sports team, I forget what sport exactly, tennis or football, I don't remember, tag teamed her. Gross. Glad they didn't show that. What they did show was a lot of the creepiness with Robbie and the mother and Jackson getting caught watching gay porn and talking to a guy and how they didn't realize that he was gay. What the fuck? Oh, but that's okay. Just turn to God and you'll be fine. No, it's not how that fucking works. So they go to this compound. They meet some other people. And then the body count starts rising. The body count starts rising because Mary basically says, oh, you have a 3 strikes you're out policy. Then you get trapped in the basement and you never leave. Because she starts killing people, because she's nuts, because most religious people are inherently nuts, especially when they get to that point. And what ends up happening is everybody has to eventually fight back, even as the bodies continue to get chipped away. And then Emma and Lewis and this one other character, they try to survive. And as people continue to die, including Hank, because Hank was going to leave with his soon-to-be boyfriend, Mason, on a trip to Chicago. Really missed the opportunity to say that there. God damn it. She kills him because no family members are safe. Nobody's safe. If you're a sinner, god damn it. And then Emma is about to be killed. And Jackson runs out with a knife. And she grabs one of these lanterns, or, these little stick lanterns that are, they're solar panels, $50 million, 50% discount. But anyway, she kisses her to distract her. Oh no, I'm giving in to sin. And then Jackson stabs her. She stabs at the brother and sister that stay together, get to tag team people together. There's a lot of violence in this. Mary goes absolutely nuts and eventually meets her demise, even saying, Jesus is coming for me. And then she makes goofy faces and dies. And it's funny. And then they go home, and the mother is indoctrinated and stabs Jackson with a fork, while Robbie tries to kill Emma with a bag. And earlier in the movie, there was a pair of scissors that she saw that she was probably going to use to kill or to, take care of her unborn baby. He tries to choke her out with a bag, but that doesn't work. She grabs the scissors and keeps stabbing him. And then Jackson tries to get away from the mother, because Jackson, by the way, is trying to buy into all this stuff that the family does love him, but obviously they don't. They think he's a sinner, and they just want him to get better by dying because he's a sinner. He hits the mother in the head with a heavy cross thing and beats her skull in, and it's great. And then they leave. And headquarters apparently are in Florida, because we get a whole thing, didn't you notice all the weird shit happening in Florida? So Emma and Jackson decide to leave and go to Florida, possibly to burn the headquarters to the ground. Maybe we're going to get Children of Sin 2, Electric Sinner Boogaloo. No goddamn idea. I had great fun. The movie is by no means perfect as far as a story and a coherent narrative. It's straightforward and not great, but as far as entertainment, I had great fun. I'm giving it an A+. I really, really had a lot of fun watching this. I haven't had as much fun, like I said, since watching the last matinee. Not manatee to the mutual watching this, but it was fun. A+. Fucking A+ on the fun factor. Great job, Christopher Wesley Moore and everybody involved. Great throwback to the 70s, 80s slashers with just bringing it in the modern age. It was just so fun. Anyway, agree, disagree what I said. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. I'll see you soon.